Okay, toward the end of this video I started to get kind of nervous. I was trying to finish this up before the 30-minute mark. So I kind of rushed the edge a little bit, so there's some crushing and stuff, and the flaking is a little more random than I'd hoped for. But it came out alright, I think. Let's see if I can get a translucency on this. Let's see. Okay, so this is heat-treated chert, and before I made this video I was working on this style with various other types of chert and flint. I would make a preform and then notch it, and then I figured out that I should probably notch it before I actually make the preform. So in the beginning you can see that I tried notching before I actually made the preform. So I think that's the best strategy for these, because the notches have to be very, very well done. And if you don't have a type of chert or flint that will lend itself to notching, it's not going to come out at all. So I tried, before I made this video, I worked on this for about 3 days, and I made these out of various cherts. All of them are heat treated. Actually, this is an agate, I believe, and I don't know where it came from, but it's not from Texas. All this other stuff is from Texas or nearby. Okay, and no particular order. I think I made this one first, and then this one, and then these two, and then that one, and then that one, and finally this one here. Okay. Now, I've only made one of these before, and it was with modern tools and not abo tools, and it was much easier. That's for sure. The issue with the abo tools is mainly the notching, and I kind of blew this one out here. I rushed it a little bit because I was doing okay with the original notcher I was using on this one here. Then I switched over to a thinner one that I thought would work better. But it turned out, I guess it was flexible or something, and it kind of bent in the notch and blew out the side, but I kept going. Ideally, you want the notches to be perfect on Agee points, and you want the flaking to be as regular as possible. I've seen some of them even with a median ridge. I have never seen one in real life. I have never held one, but I've seen pictures. And some may or may not have these needle tips, but I decided to put one on here just because some of them have that as a feature. And most of these were made of exotic cherts, and probably all heat treated. And by exotic I mean, agates and other fancy river gravels, but they were also made of dark chert and other types, but mostly translucent. I think the ones that I've seen, most of them I've seen have been highly translucent. Okay, so that's why I chose this. Some of those translucent cherts are very difficult to work, so I recommend trying a different type of chert to get used to the style. And I was kind of fudging around with these concavities toward the end of the video, and getting a little exasperated, trying to send in flakes here to make it thinner, to thin it down right here in this area, but it turned out okay. Anyway, the characteristics of most of these that I've seen, the neck is more narrow than this blade here. Okay, Now, on some examples, the neck and the blade are the same width, and you have the ears flaring out. But in most of them I've seen, the neck here is more narrow than the blade. Alright, and the measurements on this, I measured it before the video, before I shot this final one. It's 7/8 wide by 1 7/8 long inches. 1 7/8 long by 7/8 wide. I think that is within the range. A lot of them were small, or smaller than this, but I didn't do an average. I could do an average and post that later on in the description, but I think this is within range. The neck width, it's about a 1/4 inch. Yeah, which is a good size for the end of the arrow. When you taper it down and attach the arrowhead. These will be hafted with a wrap around the base here. I don't think they put any wraps up here. I think the wood only extended a little bit past these notches, so it's kind of a shallow haft. Okay, anyway, this chert was fairly easy to work. It wasn't as brittle as some of the other stuff I was working, which was nice, but it crushes easily, kind of like obsidian. Alright, and this one was suggested to me recently. I've been wanting to do these on video. I'm going to do also the Alba type and Catahoula, and I think there's one more related form or similar form, the Haze. So I'll do those two on video with Abo tools eventually. Okay.